Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am home. Settled back into the basement studio here so that people can sleep upstairs. How are you guys tonight? Yeah? All right. For those who are just joining for the first time, this is Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a comic book artist. I am a Star Wars fan. Uh, at least At least I thought I was. Um, uh, I just left Solo. I saw the 7 o'clock showing at the AMC 8. I saw it in 3D, and I was hoping that I was actually going to be entertained. When I got to the theater, I have to admit, a twinge of excitement came over me. I think some of you felt it. I did a live stream from. Uh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a little just kind of. Well, it'll make sense as I go. Uh, I did a live stream from the theater when I got there, and there were two stormtroopers, and there was a guy who spent $15,000 making the best R2D2 that I've ever seen. The R2D2 was so great. I talked to him for a long time. I was like, wow. I mean, he was such a nerd and a hobbyist, and I was like, can it shoot out a lightsaber? Can it do all this stuff? And he's like, oh, I should make it do that. It used to have a stun gun attached to it, but I had to take it out because it was illegal here. Yeah, it was. This guy was great. So suddenly I went, like, I felt it in my heart. I was like, I'm about to see a Star Wars movie. It's like I'm about to see another Star Wars movie. I didn't go see The Last Jedi in the theaters. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't go see it, because that would have really, really hurt. Um, Let me just say at the outset, this movie was not as bad as The Last Jedi. I'm not sure that it could have ever possibly have been. Ron Howard and Phil Lord, Chris Miller, God rest their souls. Wherever they're lying, I hope they're in peace. I hope they're at peace, and I hope it went quick because clearly the original two directors of this movie were murdered. I haven't heard from them. Nobody knows where they are. Some of you have made wanted or missing posters to help find Chris Miller and Phil Lord, and I thank you for that. I think their families thank you for that. Um, Ron Howard couldn't possibly be as evil as Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson is Satan. Ryan Johnson is one of the worst people. Ryan Johnson is an SJW for this moment. He is a current year SJW. Ron Howard's just an old guy who makes boring movies. This movie was the High School Musical production of Star Wars. At no point during this ceaseless barrage of flat. I feel bad. Like I watched it and I felt like Alden Ehrenreich, who I've been calling Third Ehrenreich, was a high school kid, and I just looked at him on the screen and I felt so bad for him, and I honestly felt bad for Lando Calrissian too, Dong Lover. I don't know what people are talking about. I don't when people were praising his. I don't know what people are talking about. It was silly. It was so self conscious. It was so weird. It was silly. It was Whew. Uh, all right. I almost fell asleep through right around the middle. Now, other reviews kind of said that this movie took a while to get going. That is correct. There was there was one really really good scene, and that was the Kessel Run scene. That was a lot of fun when Han Solo took over the Falcon. He had Chewbacca as a co-pilot for the first time, and they just, I mean, that whole spectacle was something from Green Lantern. It was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Up until that point, up until that point, it was dreadfully dull. And then the second half of it, after the Kessel Run sequence, was insulting. All right, so should I go through the plot? Hmm. It I don't know who this character was. This was not Han Solo. This kid could not play Han Solo. Um, Let me get myself organized here. It's all coming out like anger, and I'm trying not to be angry. I'm trying to just be sad about it instead of angry. I felt, yeah, it was, and I honestly thought going in, I'm like, I'm gonna come out liking this movie. I came out hating this movie. If there was an end scene, I didn't see it. I did leave right after the big credits had gone by. I said, is there an end scene? Maybe something cool is gonna happen. Maybe Jabba the Hutt is gonna show up in the end scene, and I should stay. I had to get the f out of there. I had to get out. Um, all right, so it starts off with Han Solo, young Han Solo. He's trapped on his planet Corellia, and he is dating Quira. Amazingly, I pronounced it wrong. It's not Quira. It's Kira. I should have known. I should have known that the Q was a hard K sound and not a Q sound. I've been calling this young lady Quira. How dare I? He Han Solo boosts a book that has been turned into a land speeder kind of automobile thing, and he tries to get away. He's captured. He is taken before some kind of bug centipede woman. A lot of women in this movie. A lot of very powerful women in this movie. Han Solo gets kind of kicked around by women all through this movie. Uh, yeah, he a lot of just super powerful women that have power over him, that actually do the things that he was meant to do, and he says, "Oh shucks, thanks," all throughout this film. The first one is this centipede woman, whose name is Lady. God, I can't. I should have taken notes, but it was like Paradoxa or something like that. You'll see it, and you'll know who I'm talking about. He's brought before her because he owes her a debt or something, and he ends up tricking her. He pulls out the thermal detonator trick from Return of the Jedi, but it's just a rock, and she says, "That's just a rock, and you made a noise with your mouth." He said, "I got a thermal detonator, and I just activated it." She said, "That's just a rock, and you made a noise with your mouth." And Quira says, "I hope this isn't your plan." And he says, "No, this is." And he throws it in the glass, and apparently, this worm monster is burned by sunlight like a vampire. And she starts to scream, and that gives him time to escape, get back into their flying bookmobile, and get to the airport or the train station. I guess it's some kind of airport. Sneak. They have enough money that they've stolen to sneak a flight off of this planet. Corellia is a terrible place where orphans and women are enslaved, and Han Solo wants to get Quira off of there and get a new start. Well, they try to. They don't have a ticket. They don't have a pass. They don't have ID, but they do have this fuel that is incredibly valuable, and they offer it to the lady behind the ticket window. And the ticket window lady sees it and says, "Okay, I'll let you through." But just as Han Solo goes through, the door shuts because stormtroopers grab Quira and they're separated forever. Han Solo decides to join the Empire and fight for them. He wants to be a pilot. That's how he gets his name Solo. They say, "Well, who are you with? What's your family name?" And he goes, "I'm just Han. I'm alone." And they say, "Han Solo," and he's like, "Oh, cool." That's why the Force Link 2.0 has Han say, "They call me Han Solo," and we all got angry about it. Well, we all got angry. No, they do just call him Han Solo. His name is Han. I don't know if he has another name past that. We don't learn that. And so he fights in the troops, like he fights in the war. He meets Beckett. He meets Bill Cosby's wife on the Cosby Show, and they're fighting. Han is a coward. He runs the opposite way from conflict all the time. He's looking to get out of the war now. He finds out that Beckett, and I think her name is Val, played by Thandie Newton, who was I thought it was Felicia Rashad, but it wasn't. It was Thandie Newton, and it finds out that they're just scamming. They're pretending to be soldiers so that they could steal equipment and sell it. He knows this about them. Uh, he says, "I'm going to turn you in," and they double cross him, and he is sent into a pit where he's going to fight the beast. The beast is going to eat him. The beast hasn't eaten for 3 days. Out comes Chewbacca. Chewbacca is the beast. Chewbacca is covered in mud, and yeah, they fight, and he goes at Chewbacca and talks in Chewbacca's language, and it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound convincing, but Chewbacca understands, and he says, "Oh yeah, I know a few words in Wookiee," and he's able to communicate with Chewbacca and tell him that they can break out of this prison together if he'll just listen. They are covered in mud. They're covered in mud, and there is a shower scene. Basically, Han Solo says, "Hey, we can, we'll get on Beckett's ship." Beckett is played by Woody Harrelson. We can get on Woody Harrelson from Cheers. He's got a spaceship. He's leaving. He's my friend. Um, there's a little monkey that I actually really like who's flying Beckett's ship. I like that little monkey. I don't know what his name is, but if there's an action figure, I will get him. And the monkey says, "Hey, we could use a Wookiee. Wookiees are strong. We could use one for our heists." And so that convinces Beckett, played by Woody Harrelson, to go down and scoop up Han Solo and Chewbacca. And Han Solo looks at Chewbacca and says, "See, I told you they're my friends." And then, boom, cut to the steamiest shower scene you've ever seen. You've got here's what it looks like, and it's disturbing as hell. You've got Hal. You got Han Solo's naked feet in the shower, and they're pointed, to the right. And then Chewbacca steps into the scene, his feet are pointed to the left, and they fill the entire screen, meaning that they're basically dong to dong, naked in the shower, and then we cut to a, chest, I don't know, view, and Han says, uh, "We couldn't just take separate showers?" And Chewbacca goes, "Arrgh," makes his Chewbacca noise. Yeah, it was disturbing. It was highly disturbing. I think it was meant to be charming. And then they decide they're gonna rob a train. Everybody's in debt. Everybody's always in debt. Everybody just needs to do one more score to pay off this guy with scars on his face. They decide to rob the train. That's where they meet. What's her name? Emphas Nest for the first time. Emphas and her flying speeder bike crew, but you don't know it. They call Emphas a he, not Emphas, not him. So they actually do make an effort to trick you that Emphas Nest is a man, but it's too late. We already all know. Everybody knows that Emphas Nest turns out to be a 16-year-old girl. That's highly disturbing as well. They're all fighting after they blow up the train, and Bill Cosby's wife, Thandie Newton, dies. She decides to kill herself by blowing up the bridge. It's the only way, and it's very, very sad. But they're able to get the coaxium. Okay, coaxium. I'm not joking about the shower. No, I'll read all the super chats. I'll read all the super chats at the end. I mean, I really appreciate them. I just want to keep my flow going because I'm accessing memory here. Yeah. So Emphas Nest tries to steal the coaxium from Han Solo. Han Solo's got some little vehicle. He's trying to fly the coaxium one way. All the speeder bikes have cables attached to the coaxium. They're trying to pull it another way. They're all moving forward. They're headed towards a mountain. So Han Solo decides to just cut the cable and let the speeder bikes have the coaxium. But the coaxium is too heavy for the speeder bikes to carry aloft by themselves. So they end up having to let it go too, and the coaxium explodes. It's a big, huge thing. Everyone's upset. In this world, everybody wants energy. They're all looking for energy. It's what they need. So that was a big loss. It was a tragic loss. Yeah. Let's see. Then it's just the whole thing is so goddamn boring. Most of the good stuff, honestly, you saw in the trailer. You saw it already in the trailer. So then Han Solo and Beckett meet up with Dryden Voss, who is actually a very cool mobster. I really, really dig his character. He's got one red eye. He looks like me in the morning. He's got all these scars on his face. And, they're going to go rob more coaxium. Now, first they meet Lando Calrissian. Lando Calrissian is fine. You've seen him. You've seen Dong Lover's performance of Lando Calrissian. You've seen all of it. I mean, basically, you've seen all of it. There are a couple of other things that he does, but mostly he's sitting behind a table flirting with ugly aliens. Uh, that's fine. The worst thing in the universe, and I'm telling you right now, if you still have any hate in your heart for Rose Tico, that hate is going to leave you when you see this movie, if you see this movie, and you are going to embrace Rose Tico. You are going to love Rose Tico with all of your heart because Rose Tico is the light. Rose Tico is pure joy compared to the strident, bitchy fucking horror of L337. L337 is the most obnoxious robot that you can possibly imagine. Uh, yeah, picture a far left SJW British feminist, like feminazi, okay, with legs put on too far apart. Like the reason why this robot has legs that are too far apart is because it's the actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's wearing a green suit, and they kind of strap these legs onto her hips. So this horrible robot has, and it says things. Um it yells at Han Solo on the Millennium Falcon. It says, "Could you get your presumptuous ass out of my seat?" And then I mean, it is it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Now there's one oh, and then it goes during the Kessel Run heist, where they're stealing all this coaxium, 12 big, gigantic, heavy logs of coaxium. Chewbacca liberates Wookiees. His family isn't in it. His family isn't in it. It's not Mala. It's not Itchy or Lumperoo. They're just random goddamn Wookiees. They could have done that. I mean, they said, oh, he wants to liberate. I don't know. He says family or tribe, and so they leave it. They let you think that maybe he's going to save Mala or something, or he cares about his family, or he's doing this for his family. He needs money to support Itchy's porno habits. But no, it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. There's no Itchy Mala, none of that shit. The holiday special is not canon. It's not canon, and that's the most upsetting part of this whole movie. The holiday special, not canon. That broke my heart. So yeah. It was bait. They totally psyched me out. All of these things that I was hoping for, we didn't get. We didn't get any of it. We didn't get the things that we wanted. They go in, they start fighting the toaster or the waffle maker heads. Those guys with the waffle makers on their heads, there are a lot of them. They're like these weirdo stormtroopers that are guarding the coaxium logs, and they get their asses handed to them. Meanwhile, L337 is on this whole jag about wanting to liberate droids. And she goes up to one and like a very primitive looking kind of astromech droid, very primitive looking. I mean, it looks like I built it in my garage. And she goes up to it and she says, "Hey, move aside and let me handle these controls." And the droid's like, "Meh, meh, meh, meh." And she's like, "Hello," knocks on its head. So goddamn irritating. Any woman who watches this movie and likes L337, she is the enemy. She is POP, part of the problem. This droid is the single most toxic and annoying, obnoxious thing in the world, and it would take a dong lover to love this droid, and we'll get to that in a second. She notices that the R2 unit, not the R2 unit, the astromech droid cannot respond to her. She goes, restraining bolt, pops it off, barbaric. And then she says, "You're free, you're free." And she's liberating everybody. She's liberating all the droids that are running this place. She's so happy with herself. She's skipping around. She's in some kind of like hippie stupor, just rejoicing. And then the best moment. Okay, now the Kessel Run sequence was really, really good. It was legitimately good. There is one moment where I cheered, and that comes when L337 comes running outside. There's a big shootout. It's the scene where Lando flips Han Solo's gun in the air at him. Han Solo catches it and starts shooting like a cowboy. Um, and they're blasting the waffle iron heads, trying to get the coaxium on the Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's when you see the clothing that Lando Calrissian is wearing throughout this movie, and he owns this ship. It's not the Millennial Falcon; it's the fucking Millennial Flamingo. I mean, this thing is thoroughly debased. It is nothing at all, nothing at all. It's just it's not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. Um, anyway, L337 is like, yeah, you're all free. I've done it. I've done freedom, social justice, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, blasted by multiple laser shots. And she goes, what the hell's happening to me? And she falls apart. She falls. It's so wonderful. She's blown to smithereens. Lando goes, oh no! And he runs out onto the in the middle of the battle to go collect L337's mangled body. And as he's like, you're gonna be okay, she's like, I don't know what's happening or something. I don't know. And he tries to pick her up, and she splits in half. And I went, woo! I was the only one in the audience that was cheering. I was like, woo! And people were looking at me weird, but I was really into that one moment. So happy to see that thing die. And its death scene was extended and pitiful. Lando is crying. Lando is on the ship. Lando gets blasted in the arm because he's trying to save a chunk of this toaster that he's fucking. And he's in love with this thing. He's absolutely in love with it. That was the okay. That moment, that was the best moment in the movie. I would watch that again. I would watch that again. That was a fantasy come true for me. That was wonderful. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see that happen. Yeah. So anyway, then they're escaping, and that's the Kessel Run sequence when Lando cannot fly the ship because he's injured, and he's tending to the Mangold corpse, and he only brought half of L37. He only brought the L3 part. He left the 37 part twitching on the ground behind him because he just couldn't scoop up the whole thing. And actually, it was even more sad because Lando couldn't even get there holding the. So Chewbacca had to scoop this little soy boy up while he's holding a piece of L337 and carry them all onto the Millennial Falcon. And I laughed at that too. I laughed while I was eating popcorn. That whole sequence, I was like Michael Jackson's Thriller gif. I was like throwing it back in my mouth, thoroughly enjoying that part. You'll like it too. And no. So they ended up using L3. They took the piece of L3 that's left, and they kind of took out the some data ports. I don't know what the hell, and plugged them into the Millennium Falcon to sort of the navigation system is now a part of the Millennium Falcon. That way they could figure out how to get around to do the Kessel Run. There was Ron Howard did a great thing where they're flying away and they're like, "Hey, I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna get away." There's trouble dead ahead, and it's a star destroyer, and it's a star destroyer in a funnel of atmosphere of just space cosmos. It's in a funnel, and it looks so badass, and I just have to salute Ron Howard or whoever designed that scene. That scene looked dynamite, and Han Solo said, "Well, listen, they're not going to waste a TIE fighter on a freighter like us." And boom, like 6 hot-looking TIE fighters come out with green lights out of the Star Destroyer from this tunnel. Okay, so here's what I'm saying to you about this movie. Here's what I'm saying to you. Clip it out like right from the scene. I want you to see a little bit of L337 cheering and being a feminist and being an SJW bitch. I want you to see all that stuff. And then clip it until the end of the Kessel Run scene. So you'll get about 10, 15 minutes worth of movie that I thoroughly endorse, that I give a thumbs up. You'll see L337 freeing the droids, celebrating her little social justice bliss, get blasted to hell. Lando cries as she dies. That sequence is great. And then all the way through the Kessel Run sequence. Absolutely clip that out. If that was the entire movie, I would have left happy. But unfortunately, there was the stuff before it, and then there was the stuff after it. Quira, uh, so Quira is sleeping with Dryden Boss. She is his sex slave. Um, I don't know what it is with this movie, but all of the women are completely and totally badass, and Han Solo, Lando Calrissian is a femme who's crying over. He's flirting with aliens. He's crying over dead robots. Han Solo is bewildered by everything that happens to him in this movie, utterly bewildered, and he lets like if there like when Dryden Voss is fighting him at the end. Han Solo has a pretty clever plan to sort of swindle him out of the coax. Oh, before we get to that, okay. So they've got the coaxium. They're going to give it to Dryden Voss. He's going to pay them an awful lot of money, and then everything's going to be good. But then here comes, whatever her name is, Emphas Nest, and there's that sequence that we've all seen where Han Solo says, "See that freighter? You're going to be surrounded." And then that's Lando. Lando's like, "Fuck this," and he takes off with the Millennium Falcon, leaving them all alone to face Emphas Nest. Uh, Woody from Cheers says, "Hey, look, she's a killer, or Emphas Nest is a killer. They're just a bunch of marauders. They're gonna mow us down, But if they're gonna mow us down, then they're gonna get mowed down by Dryden Voss's people. There's gonna be a lot of bloodshed here unless we come to a conclusion." And that's when Emphas Nest comes forward and takes off her mask, as it turns out, and she is a hideous 16-year-old girl, a very strange looking human being. I don't know where they found this thing. She's got freckles all over her face and two on her lip that really, really confused me. I just stared at those. And she's angry, and she explains that no, she is part of the rebellion, and all of her pirates are actually aliens from other planets that are also, they've been exploited by the Empire, by people like Dryden Voss, by this whole people stealing energy and resources. She's an environmentalist, activist slash, vigilante. And yeah, she's stealing energy back in order to build up the rebellion. And Han Solo suddenly has a pang of conscience, and he realizes that he would like to help Emphas Nest. He's not gonna he's not gonna give he's not gonna get paid for all of this coaxium that everyone almost died for. And L337 did die for. No, he's not gonna give that to Dryden Voss for money. He's gonna give it to Emphas Nest, this 16-year-old, with her army of midgets and reptiles. He's gonna give it to her because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, and so yeah, so then they have a plan. How are they going to get by Dryden Voss? They're going to give him fake stuff, and then there's a double, triple cross. Who cares? The point is that Emphas Nest is happy at the end. Her little 16-year-old self is happy because she did get the coaxium. She's utterly badass. Of course she is. She's a 16-year-old girl who is like Elektra from Daredevil. She can ninja kick people in the face. She can beat up grown men her own. There is no 16-year-old girl who can beat me up, and I am not. Listen, it's just me. It's just your Uncle Ethan. I don't care. I'll beat up any 16-year-old girl, and I'll do it right now. She's just doing karate kicks. She's stabbing people. She's shooting people. Bring me the 16-year-old. I'll beat any 16-year-old girl's ass, including whoever played Emphas Nest. I will. I will. I challenge any 16-year-old girl. But yeah, so while that's happening, Dryden Voss and Han Solo and Quira are kind of facing off over the question of whether Han Solo has brought him a dummy of this energy, or whether, what's going on. It ends up that Woody Harrelson has betrayed Han Solo, and so Dryden knows about his secret plan and his arrangement with Emphas Nest. And then suddenly it's like, well, Han Solo's like, hey, well, I knew that you were gonna. So this is actually the real coaxium, and the stuff that your men are fighting Emphas Nest for down below, that's not the real stuff. That's a dummy case. And we've got some natives wearing Emphas Nest suit. That's not the real Emphas Nest. She's killing your men right now. So having heard this, Woody Harrelson pulls out a gun and he shoots all of Dryden Voss's men. He said, I want to be the only guy with the gun in the room when I'm making decisions. That's a smart thing to say. That is a smart thing to say. Always be the only person in the room with the gun if you can, if you can. And then he leaves. Okay, and then it's like, oh, okay. So while he's leaving with the coaxium and Chewbacca to carry it, which I thought was really smart, he's got to carry it down this whole sandy beach. I had to carry Ava up the, when we went to the shore today, and trudging through the sand carrying, a 2.5 year old. It's heavy. I mean, it's heavy, So it's like, uh, when you're walking that distance. So I was like, wow, Chewbacca carrying this coaxium for Woody Harrelson. I can relate to that. Like, if I'd have thought of that, I would have done the same thing. So that's going on. In the meantime, now it's got to be a fight to the death between Dryden Voss, Quira, and Han Solo. Han Solo is flipping around. He's got his blaster, then he doesn't have his blaster. Keeps getting kicked out of his hand. Very frustrating. His blaster is definitely a symbol for his penis. It keeps getting removed from him by Dryden Voss and by Quira, and he's got to do backflips and somersaults like a ballerina to try to regain his penis, and it doesn't work. And he's hiding behind a bookshelf or something like that. When suddenly Quira betrays Han and kicks his ass, puts him to the ground, and grabs a ninja sword and puts it to his chest and says sorry. And Dryden Voss comes up and says, you see, I understand Quira in a way that you never could, Han, because we're both the same. And Han's just like, oh, yeah, well, this is how it goes, right? Women. And then Quira says, I'm sorry, but I had to do this. And Han's like, well, I guess you did. And then she backs her sword right through Dryden Voss, and they fight, and she utterly kicks his ass. Han Solo couldn't do it because he's just a white male. But Quira definitely could. I mean, she kicked his ass, which begs the question: why does she keep Han Solo around anyway? Why? Don't know. But she kills him, and then now what are they going to do? We got to buy a ship. So Han Solo gets up and everything, and I've never seen. I mean, you got to try to picture. I spent the movie trying to picture Harrison Ford, young Harrison Ford, in this role, and this being his Han Solo, and I couldn't do it for the life of me. This was not. This is not Han Solo. This is not Harrison Ford's Han Solo. This is a separate character. This is a like I said, this felt like It never felt like Star Wars, but it felt like Han Solo by the cast of High School Musical. It was completely immature. It was completely like social justice, and it was all the men were emasculated. Were all the men emasculated? Woody Harrelson wasn't emasculated. Dryden Voss wasn't, even though a woman killed him. Uh, Chewbacca came out all right, even though he was Woody Harrelson's bitch carrying the coaxium across the beach, which I thought again was a great idea. I mean, I would have done the same thing were I Woody Harrelson. So anyway, how are we gonna get out of here now, Quira? We're still in love. She's like, see, I pretended to double cross you, but I really double crossed him. And he said, yeah, yeah, that was smart. That was smart how you made me look like an idiot. And so he's like, okay, so I'm gonna go and chase down Woody Harrelson. She's like, see all these gems around his office? I'm gonna steal these gems, and this will be definitely enough for us to buy a nice spaceship to get off the island together. And so Han's like, yeah, good idea, because I'm stupid. And he leaves, and Quira looks at the diamonds and then goes to Paul Bettany's Dryden Voss's dead body, pulls off a deliciously huge looking ring. And I'm like, and you're thinking, oh, that ring's probably really valuable. No, she takes the ring and plugs it into a little notch on his desk, and up pops a hologram of Darth Maul, a hooded man who is sitting there. I guess he's sitting on a stool, so his legs are spread really wide apart, but you can't see the stool, so it just looks really effing weird. Yeah, he's just sitting there, kind of legs akimbo, and he pulls down his hood, and it's a much older looking Darth Maul, and he says, "You work for me now, biatch," and she says, "Yeah, sure." And then she flies Paul Bettany, Dryden Voss's ship away, and Han Solo watches it go. Han Solo left. He's down on the beach. He decided to meet Chewbacca. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. How he got to where they were going faster than they did, they should have gone the way he went because he circumvented them and he met them. He was right in front of them when Chewbacca was still coming with. I don't know how he knew of a faster way to get where they were going, but it just seems stupid because it would have been fat. They could have left. They could have been gone. Anyway, Han Solo beats him. He's like, "Hey, I got here as fast as I could." Woody Harrelson gives him a dumb speech, and Han Solo shoots him in the heart. He falls down. Han Solo shot first, but then he cradles his head lovingly. He cradles his head lovingly as he dies, and he says, "Yeah, it's a good thing that you shot me because I was going to shoot you. So it's a good thing. You did the right thing. It was the moral thing for you to shoot me." Yeah, always shoot first. Always. Yeah. So then Han Solo watches. See, basically Dryden Voss's house. It looks like a skyscraper, but it's also a spaceship. So it was parked there. Quira flies it away, and Han Solo kind of watches it fly away. And there's a moment where they can see each other, kind of, even though there's no possible effing way they could see each other. And Quira looks down at him with, passion and regret. Passion and regret. But she's going to go work for Darth Maul now. And then Han and Chewie, I guess they go find Lando. Oh no! First, Emphas Nest gives them a sliver of the coaxium, like the size of a thumb, like my toe thumbnail. That's how much coaxium she gets, or they get. They get a little this much coaxium, this much, in a little jar, like that big. Uh, let's see, yeah. And so then they decide, hey, well, hang on to that. Thanks, Emphas Nest. Hey, thanks, 16-year-old that we just turned over billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of energy to. Thank you. Oh, by the way, before Woody Harrelson betrayed them, before that, Woody Harrelson actually does reference Jabba the Hutt, which again was one of these things that he goes, hey, when we're done this gig, I know of a high-powered gangster on Tatooine, and he's got work for us to do. And Han's like, oh, yeah, Tatooine, let's go. And I'm like, yay, oh, that's not going to happen in this movie. You're just being dicks. There isn't going to be a sequel. There isn't going to be a sequel. So whatever. Would have liked to have seen Jabba the Hutt. I would have liked to have seen Boba Fett in this movie. But no, thank you for Emphas Nest. Thank you for Quira. Thank you for L337. Yeah, in a movie that people kept saying is unnecessary, this movie shouldn't even exist. Shouldn't exist. Thank you for giving us none of what we wanted in this fan service movie, and everything that we didn't want. All this extra stuff that we didn't need. Thank you for that shit. And thank you for no Boba Fett or Jabba the Hutt. That would have been perfect. I would have liked to have seen IG-88. By the way, there are no cameos. Those nice little nuggets, like in Rogue One, you got to see what's his face from the Star Wars Cantina who got his arm chopped off. But yeah, nothing like that in this movie. Nothing like that. There's no secret thing that you haven't heard about that's in there. There are no fun cameos, and that's a big problem with this movie. That's where this movie really falls down. Anyway, so they go and find Lando Calrissian, and Han is gonna beat Lando Calrissian up. By the way, Lando is wearing the gayest shirt at this point that I've ever seen in my life. He slowly becomes more and more gay through the movie, but when in the end, when you see his shirt, you will never stop laughing. You will never stop laughing at the shirt that Lando Calrissian is wearing at the end. It is, oh my God, Charles Nelson Riley wouldn't be caught dead in this shirt, and Lando's sporting it. Han is gonna beat him up. He picks him up by the shirt. You left me there, and he sees that Lando has a card hidden up his sleeve, and he hugs him and I guess he sleight of hand steals the card from Lando's sleeve, which screws up. Then he says, "Well, we've got this coaxium. It's probably worth 10,000. So that's enough to buy me into this game, right?" And Lando's like, "You want to lose that too, bitch?" And Han's like, "Yeah, definitely." And they sit down and they play. And there's a big hand uh, it's at the end, and Han Solo pushes. He's like, I'm all in. And Lando is probably thinking he can cheat with the card up his sleeve, but the card ain't up his sleeve anymore. Han totally dicked him over. Han Solo wins the Millennium Falcon, and at the end, you see them flying away together. It's like Han and Chewie in the cockpit. It would make you feel like it was Star Wars if Han Solo looked at all like Han Solo. He doesn't. And then there's the famous shot from behind them as they kick into hyperdrive. The stars come at you, and for a minute, it looks like Star Wars if you squint. And then, boom, closing credits directed by Opie. Oh my God. All right. Uh, this movie is terrible. This movie is. Therm is in it. Therm Scissor Punch is in it. He never has a single line. You get to see him for about 2 seconds squirm and be a lobster. Uh, okay. The movie was terrible. I'm telling you honestly. There is that 10-minute clipped out piece that is fun to watch. Everything I felt about this movie, everything I've been saying about this movie for the past 2 months, I understated it. All of its problems, the things that I hoped that I thought I'd figured out, would have improved this movie miles. If Enfys Nest had turned out to be Han Solo's mother, that would have been way better. That would have given Han Solo something. I mean, something. There is nothing. There is no weight behind this character at all. There's nothing but fluff. You don't care about him. You don't feel for him in any way. His heart is Quira, and Quira is nothing. I mean, she's just dust in the wind, essentially. You get nothing from it. You don't know who he is. The idea that Han Solo is somebody who is betrayed by everyone, yeah, but everyone's betrayed by everyone in this movie. So Han's nothing special. He is not smart at all. He's not crafty or clever. He's pretty clumsy. He's pretty ineffectual. And I everyone on the screen outshone him with either gibbering idiocy, like L337. Boy, do I hate that character. That is the most loudmouth, strident, feminazi bitch robot. I can't I can't even I'm not exaggerating for a minute. When you see and hear the way that thing talks, you're going to want to get up on the screen and you're going to want to slap the living shit out of it. It is the most terrible creation in the world. And of course, Lando is utterly in love with it. He's infatuated by it. What type of man would want to be in the company or the presence of a robot like this? Lando would, for some reason. Lando would, even though Lando is a smooth talking reptile who basically tries to talk two-headed blue women into bed. Tries to trick them. His love interest is this hard, passionless, monstrous robot. Uh, Okay. Now, my idea for this movie was that, yeah, Han Solo's an orphan. We do find out that Enfys Nest is his mother. I want this movie to start out where we, meet all these people who uniquely betray him. He trusts them, he trusts people, and he learns not to trust anymore. I mean, even his own mother betrays him. The only person that's ever true to him is Chewbacca. That's the only person, that's his ride or die friend. And that should have been just the whole kind of feeling that you get from the movie. Like, how do we get this character, how do we get him from, teenagerhood to where we meet him for the first time in A New Hope when he's already world weary and cynical and he's got a smirk on his face and he's all out for himself. He's never out for anyone else. Why? Why is that? In this movie, he's out for everyone but himself. But when we see him in A New Hope, he's completely a selfish creature, and we love him for that. That's just who he is. Deep down, he's got a heart, but he doesn't want to get betrayed again. So he doesn't, you have to tell him, hey, save Princess Leia because you're going to get rich, by doing it. And he's like, oh, well, maybe I will. But then after a little bit of time, after getting to know people, realizing that these people that are around him are his new family, then his heart melts and he becomes the, somebody who will do something for reasons other than just personal gain. I would have liked to have seen this movie get him there. I think that the fools at Disney think that there's going to be a sequel. This movie is going to bomb. This movie is going to tank. This movie is going to be this movie is going to be like a hydrogen bomb. It just there will be no sequel. People will not see this movie next weekend. It feels bad. It feels bad. People trudged out of the movie theater with me. Uh, they looked tired. They looked beat. I was beaten too. I couldn't take anymore, and so I couldn't wait for it to be over. I could not wait to get home. Uh, yeah, that's my feeling. I would give this movie 2 stars out of 10. Out of 10, and those 2 stars are for whoever shot L337. That person is amazing. Great performance. Great performance. Yeah, two. No, because you're like that many. You would give it 2 out of 10 stars. Yeah, definitely, because I really liked that moment. I thought that was terrific. All right, so let me read your super chats and let's see what you guys thought of this. I didn't even look at the chat really. I just wanted to get all that out. So let's see what you guys thought of my commentary. Down forward punch. Thank you for $5. You sound so sad. Uh, sad. No, more like irritated, not sad. DJ Ray, thank you for 4.99. This is the most anticipated review in YouTube history. I hope I did it justice. I hope you were entertained. Shannon McDaniel, Daniel, thank you for $2. Is it by chance no notifications on opening day? Uh, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Doramonicum, Doramicum blog. Thank you for $5. I had a sense of you screaming like a million voices with you looking at R2D2, suddenly silenced as the movie started. Glad to see you alive. Yeah, R2D2 warmed my heart. I was happy to see him, and I really got a good feeling going into the theater, and that good feeling went away pretty quickly. Larry Bernard, thank you for $5. High School Musical, I think, is the start of our current soy-based mass media, or near the start of it. Also, genre savvy and meta awareness is so soy-based. Yes, yes, yes. Zach Funk, thank you for $2. Tell us about the parsecs. They were 12 parsecs, but he said, yeah, Chewbacca growled and said, yeah, but if you round down. So maybe it was more than 12 parsecs. That was pretty witty. Chris Prissa, thank you for a Canadian $5. Vent, Ethan, you'll feel better. I do. I feel better now. Yana Yule, thank you for Mexican $20. Was STD2 as bad as it looked? Uh, uh, I don't know. There were no R2 units that I could see in this movie. I'm not sure what you're referencing. Michael Alvarado, thank you for $5. Uncle Ethan, I'm sorry you had to suffer on our behalf. I felt that I needed to. I mean, if this movie was good, uh, and I felt like it was gonna be, and I was already making plans. Like, okay, so what am I gonna say when this movie's really, really good? Like, how am I gonna pump this up and get? I mean, if it was good, I would tell you guys to go see it. I mean, that's the thing. My channel has to be honest with you guys. If this is a good movie, I need to tell you guys to go see it because, Disney be damned and everything that they've done. We want to be supportive of good Star Wars. So I would feel like it was my obligation to recommend it, and you guys could take that for whatever it's worth. But no, it was a terrible movie, and do not go see it. Do not go support it. It sucked ass. It was horrible. All right, let me see. I lost you. Okay. Any C3PO action? I'm asking for Cecil, asks James Murray. Thank you for $2. No, none. Yeah, what's his name? Anthony Daniel had one line as a droid that I heard. There might have been more, but I only heard one line by him. So it wasn't even that big of a deal. Peephole Circus, thank you for £2. Is Dong Lover getting panned by critics? No, they love him because I think he represents this kind of metrosexual, but also because they know him really well. I mean, you know Dong Lover, and so they think his performance as Lando Calrissian is perfectly camp and hilarious, and it is very camp. I'm not saying it's hilarious. So yeah, they're gonna love him. Labrian Rebel, thank you for $5. Today we got 1,953.7 numbers of soybeans. This is the largest amount of soybeans our small farm has ever planted. this weekend confirmed to be full of soy. Well, I mean, the soy industry is clearly a booming market, so I don't blame you for going into that bit of agriculture. Johnny Utah, 420, thank you for $2 donation. Appreciate it. Matt, thank you for $2. 2134 people in here, hit that like button. Oh, yeah, please do, guys. Please hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Um, I do appreciate that. Tyrant, thank you for $2. It's at 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Check. Woohoo. My voice is gone. I'm like, woohoo. Yeah, that's great. It's going to go down further. They were trying to rescue this movie with inflated reviews. This is a bad movie. So it's going to get worse. Joe M, thank you for $2. Last name, Lonely and Alone. Oh, Solo. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he just said, no, I'm by myself. And they said, okay, so you're Solo. The whimsy of the Imperial trooper who signed him into the. I mean, it was silly. Woodrow Martin, thank you for $9.99. Please tell me you're joking about the shower shutter. I'm not. It was as horrific as I thought it was. The only thing that was missing was Fabio music, but I will. When this movie comes out digitally, I'll probably take that scene and dub Fabio music over it. Root Call, thank you for $2. I'm late. Please recap what I missed. I'm sorry. You can watch it again when it's posted. Woodrow Martin, thank you for $1.99. I'm crying that the Mother of Dragons is in this, and she doesn't look good either. There aren't any moments where she looks particularly beautiful in this movie. It's amazing. She looks small and she looks, beat, like weathered. It's amazing that this is the same woman. Who was beautiful in Game of Thrones. Blackleg Swaji, thank you for Canadian $2. Darth Maul was always alive, just so chat don't whine. Yeah, according to the cartoon, Darth Maul is still alive, and that's whatever. I've come to accept that. Matt, thank you for $2. Hit the F and like button. Yeah, please do. Hit the thumbs up button if you could. This is the biggest chat I've ever done. 3.5 thousand, 3,500 people in here. Uh, yeah, that's the biggest one I've ever done, and I'm glad that we build up to this, and it turned out to be pretty good, pretty well attended. Star All Kung Fu, thank you for Canadian $5. So how do you rank Therm Scissor Punch on a rating of soy to steak? He's kind of surf and turf. I would say with a little soy sauce. I'm waiting for the action figure. I laughed at him when I saw him. I got a warm feeling seeing Therm Scissor Punch, knowing that I got his trading card at Denny's. Nerdrotic channel, thank you for $10. Thanks for the Soilo t-shirt, EVS, rocking it in a downtown San Francisco theater tonight. Yeah, if you don't have a Soilo shirt, go ahead and get him. This movie's a piece of garbage, and everyone will laugh when they see that shirt. You can order that on my either on my Twitter page, you'll find the link, or right here on my YouTube. You should be able to find the link to that. Paul Contreras gave me $1.99. I'm glad you hated it. Is it worse than The Last Jedi? No. No, as I said at the outset, nothing is worse than The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was evil. This movie was just stupid and full of annoyances. It was irritating, but it wasn't evil at any point. Ron Howard is incapable of evil, just naivete, cliched, boring, dull. I can't ever call anything Ron Howard does evil. Last Jedi was from hell's bowels. I mean, Ryan Johnson, fuck that dude. He's the worst human being involved with Star Wars. Chris L, thank you for $4.99 because you lost 2 hours of your life, 2.5, and I felt it. I felt every ticking minute. Killeroy, thank you for $10. Can you draw Rose Tico an Enfys Nest outfit? Oops. Okay. Also, did you hear James Mangold has been tapped to write and direct Boba Fett movie? He's the one that directed Logan. All right. Yeah. I mean that I didn't hear that. I'll do a video about it once I read about it. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that we want. I mean, people wanted a Boba Fett movie, so let's get a good Boba Fett movie. The problem with all this, like the boycotting stuff, is Disney is still going to own Star Wars, so they're still going to do movies. What we need to do is just kind of be supportive of them doing good movies, hiring big talent. And when a piece of garbage like this happens, like why did this movie even have to happen when it wasn't ready to happen? Like this thing was rushed out. I mean, it was, full of talent that didn't belong there, like no names on the screen. I mean, when the biggest name is Dong Lover, you're in real trouble. You're in real trouble. There was no reason for this movie to exist in its current state. You want to make a Han Solo movie, do it. It's an obvious thing, do it, but make sure that it's, get the right person in the lead, get a good script, make sure it's all nailed down, and they'll do that with Boba Fett. I really hope. K Brady, thank you for 9.99. Get yourself a drink tomorrow, buddy, for all you endured tonight. Thank you. Joseph Citadino, thank you for $5. Hey, got solo cards at Denny's. Molak and Pando. We're in the same booster. Oh, yeah. Molak is the. Damn it. I keep hitting this button. Molak is the Canaanite god of child abuse. Pando is pansexual. Coincidence? No, definitely not a coincidence. I think it's all funny to. What's his face? Son of Kasdan. So it's John Kasdan who wrote this. I think there's something wrong with that guy. Uh, Moloch is one of the assistants to the worm woman in the beginning of the movie, whose name I want to call Paradoxa, but it's not. It begins with a P. Um, let's see. JC, thank you for $2. Love it. LOL. Uh, good. Super Fed 11, thank you for $15. You subjected yourself to some serious abuse on our behalf. Thanks, Uncle Ethan. I'll do it again. I mean, I'm gonna, that's what this channel is gonna be. We gotta watch this whole phenomenon happen with Star Wars and see if we can fix it in some way, just with our voices. I mean, if we could just like tell Disney where they're going wrong, and actually get them to the point where they're listening, because the money makes a difference. A lot of people said, "Why are you going to see this? Why would you pay for this?" Why would I pay for this? So that I could watch it and come back with an informed opinion for 3,500 people to watch. That's why. So they don't have to spend their money on this. My $9 or whatever it costs goes a long way when I'm somebody with a huge YouTube following and an opinion that people listen to. That's why I went to see it. And I'll see all these movies. It's part of the job of running a YouTube channel. Rax the Hero, thank you for $2. Please make an L337 death scene intro. I was tempted to take out my phone and take pictures or film it on the screen while it was happening. I mean, I was crying, laughing, and cheering, so I didn't do it. And I didn't want to make a spectacle of myself beyond that. Yanni Hul, thank you for Mexican $20. KK 37, yeah, for real. The Outpatient, thank you for Canadian $5. Drink yourself to sleep on us. You deserve it. Thank you. Brian Last Name gave me $10. Thank you for the donation. Slug to the Chest, $4.99. Thanks for taking one to the team. I'm definitely skipping this one. Yeah, you should. It'll be free on cable like next week. You know, straight to VHS. Sean, wait, Sean Joaquim, thank you for $5. Now I have to sneak into this movie just so I can start laughing like Robert De Niro and Cape Fear when the robot gets snuffed. It's meant to be a sad scene. It doesn't play that way though. Ivan Neves, thank you for $2. What the fuck? Why did they include Darth Maul? That's anyone's guess. That took everyone by surprise. I don't know. I guess they feel like we all felt 15 years ago that Darth Maul, and it was like almost 20 years ago that Darth Maul got a raw deal, and they pumped up the character and then they kind of ended Darth Maul too quickly. So yeah, maybe they decided to fix that. Gojirify, thank you for $5. So his name is Solo because he is alone. Hashtag No Lives Matter. Thank you for $10. Get her, Uncle Ethan. It's me. Thank you for $15. Here's the other half of my Soilo money. First half went to did Geeks and Gamers do his review? No, he didn't do a review. He didn't go see it. Okay. I think World Class is doing a review though. I think. Brappy Hour. Thank you for $1.99. Would you accept Rose Ticos as a payment for art? I mean, I may. How many Rose Ticos do you have? Richard Adams, thank you for $2. Is this Jake Solo, friend of Jake Skywalker? Gojirified, thank you for $2. Soyba Fett. Oh, I hope not. Let's give Boba Fett movie the benefit of a doubt until we have reason to think otherwise. Mike Collins, thank you for $10. Now I don't need to see this. No, you don't. Daedric SMG, thank you for $1.99. This sounds like a clusterfuck. Yeah, it was sad. The Pee-wee, thank you for $1.99 donation. Appreciate you. Dak Ralter, thank you for $5. Dak Ralter reporting for duty. Thanks, Uncle E. You're quite welcome. Thank you. Only Caleb, thanks for $2. Most SJW moment. Most SJW moment was definitely well, there are two of them. There's L337 telling Han Solo to get his presumptuous ass out of her seat in a British accent, icy cold female British accent. Yeah, that was the most SJW scene, and it boiled my blood. It really did. Terrible. And the other SJW scene was, I guess, Queera just kicking everyone's ass. And Memphis Nest being a 16-year-old ass kicking girl again. Ian Aldridge, thank you for $20. Uncle Ethan, I finally made it to a live stream. May the soy be with you. And death to Cecil, lowercase always. Not death to Cecil. Just he needs to just find something else to do. Why does he always bother me? Cecil fans are getting mad at me. Listen, Cecil's fine. It's just that he's obsessed with me. Like go bother other people. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here trying to talk about Star Wars. Tyrant, thank you for $2. Skim through the whole film on torrent. Boring. Yeah, boring is a good. That's about accurate. Mike Chaucy, thank you for $20. I appreciate that. This is the money I would have spent on a ticket for Soilo. What was your favorite moment of the film? Favorite moment that was sincere was Han Solo trying to during the Kessel Run sequence. He tries to escape from basically a big black hole that's a big octopus monster with several eyes. It's kind of hovering around. It's just so cool. And then he puts the thing in light speed and finally escapes it. That's sincerely my favorite scene in the movie. Also, the whole thing with the Star Destroyer and all of the green lit up light TIE fighters. Yeah, I mean, like I said, clip that from the movie. That's great. And then my snarky most favorite moment is L337 getting snuffed out. I laughed. That was great too. Rax the Hero, thank you for $2. Guys, there's tons of scenes all over YouTube, so you can probably see this stuff for yourself. James Castelli says, thanks for $2. How crowded was the theater? Crowded. There may be, it was a small theater, maybe 100 seats, and maybe 80 seats were being occupied. It was good. My neighborhood wanted to see this movie. Xenobit, thank you for $2. Did Han drop the soap in the shower scene? God, I hope not. I really hope not. Emery Calumet, thank you for $2. So Ron Howard is going to leave town for a while. Yeah, I think he's going to just pretend this didn't happen. This was a job for him. This wasn't like anything he did out of love. This was definitely a job. It's like, hey, could you? It's like when they would call you up and say, hey, could you finish this comic book for someone else who kind of couldn't finish it? You go, yeah, all right, but it's not yours. It's work. Joe M, thank you for $2. Ugh, and now there's going to be a movie on Lando now. I really hope not, Joe. They overstated his charm, big time. He's a nuisance in this movie. He's an irritance. R. Kelly, thank you for $2. Who did Opie's brother play in the movie? I missed him. I looked for him and I missed him. I didn't see who he played. It was a quick walk-on role, evidently. I didn't notice him in the movie. Somewhere else, thank you for $5. It's happening. Our Chinese masters are making their will known to us. Thank you, China. And you are right. You're right about that. And they're right. They have good taste. Handlebar Fox, thank you for $5. Which is worse, Soilo or the Last Jedi? Last Jedi. Soilo is it's not evil, like I keep saying. I mean, the Last Jedi is evil. Soilo isn't evil. It's just dumb and a waste of time and boring. Gojirify, thank you for $5. New shirt idea, Soy Buffet. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I have no. I mean, maybe they'll learn. Maybe the Boba Fett movie will be good. We don't know. We don't know. We can't be sure about that. Let me make this fill the screen. Dallas Deadeye, thank you for $2. Litecoin is trading at 25 Ticos, Uncle Ethan. Well, that's. I mean, I bought a lot of Ticos low, and I'm glad that I did. I have a good number of Ticos in my portfolio. I hope you guys do too. Fried Dirt, thank you for $2. Was R2D2 or C3PO in the movie? No, they were not in the movie. Michael Mathis, thank you for $8. This is the money I would have spent on a ticket to this movie. I'd like you to have it instead, Uncle Ethan. You deserve it after what you went through. Thank you, Micah. I do appreciate it. JG, thank you for a $5 donation. PM, thank you for $10. Disney wanted the net neutrality to eventually silence all of us. Well, we're not going to be silent as long as we have YouTube and each other. Toward Marcus Birkland Jacobson, thank you for some money from Norway, 20. Was C3PO in the movie? No, as I said, disappointing. He wasn't in the movie. Nobody was. I mean, that's the thing. Darth Maul was. You get nothing else beyond that. No tribute to anything. A small reference to Jabba the Hutt that you would miss if you weren't paying close attention, and that's it. That was the most disappointing part of the movie. Like you couldn't put Greedo in the background. Like what? Josh Graston, thank you for $5, bro. You need my money for suffering. Thanks. Chet Thomas, thanks for $1.99. Check News, they just announced a Boba Fett movie. Yeah. I'm gonna look into that right away. Joe M, thanks for $2. The line, I got a really good feeling about this. Ugh, that was so bad, dude. That line happened at the point where Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon, this is during the Kessel Run scene, we're gonna get sucked into a black hole, and he had a plan for getting out of it. Everybody else was very panicked, and Han Solo said, "I got a really good feeling about this," and it was so goofy. It was so weird. Casey Kenobi, thanks for $1.99. Darth Maul, Carrot on a Stick, Boba Fett film. Darth Maul was meant to be exciting. It was mostly weird. Nobody liked it. Boba Fett film, we'll give it a chance. I mean, we'll talk about it on this channel, and we'll watch it happen. I need to know everything about it. I will keep you guys informed about every bit of nonsense. I'm telling you, Disney is gonna. Whoever thinks they're directing it and writing it now, they're not. They're gonna be fired. I mean, they're gonna be fired. The Buzz General, thanks for $2. Did they drink blue soy milk or soy milk and Soylo in place of blue? No. There was. I mean, I think they all drank soy milk off screen. The Page Mistress, thanks for $10. Thanks for suffering through that so I didn't have to. I hope you guys got the general gist of the story, though. So that would be good to know. So you don't have to go see it. Just wait till it comes out for free. Etheris Fox, thank you for $5. If it makes you feel better, you hit 3 times more viewers than Andy Worski. All it cost was your childhood. Also, Hollywood Reporter just announced the Fett movie. Of course. You'll notice it's not the Lando Calrissian movie, which is what they probably were expecting to announce, but that didn't work out. Bond Born, thank you for from Norway, $50. Thanks for the best review and sparing me the pain. You're welcome. I'm glad you liked the review. JManFX, thanks for a $1.99 donation. Geeks and Gamers, hey Jeremy, thanks for $5. The rebellion is winning. Hell yeah, we are. We are. This is a great community. Larry Bernard, thanks for $2. YouTube unbelled your channel for me, Uncle Ethan. Can you, Larry? Can you fix it? Can you go back and resubscribe and click the bell again? I'm hearing a lot of people complain about that. It's like if if you find yourself unsubscribed and it wasn't your choice, you try to subscribe again, please. Sofa King, thank you for $7.45. Thank you, Uncle E. I'm sure you will catch flack for your honest reviews, but remember that if you're catching flack, you must be over the target. Keep up the good work. I salute you, sir. Thank you. Peephole Circus, thanks for £2. Sorry, Lando, Critic Pan was a terrible dad joke. Frank Martin, thanks for $5. Great review. Not paying to see this train wreck. You shouldn't. See it for free whenever. I mean, see it for free just so that you've seen it, but just wait till it's basic cable. For God's sake, don't give them money for this. Rob Wenzel, thank you for $2. Dragoon347, thanks for $2. How much did you cringe when Solo spoke Wookiee to, oh my God, 1 to 10 Tico? It was a full-on 10. It was so bad. Like, they couldn't even train him to make the noise or dub in the noise. He went, and it was like, dude, that's not what Chewbacca sounds like. Horrible. So stupid. And why would he know how to speak Wookiees anyway? He's like always been on the same planet his whole life. Wookiees don't live there. Like why how does he know how to speak that language? That's a foreign creature to him from another world. Knights of the Nine, thank you for $4.99. Is his finger on the trigger? Yes, it is. No discipline whatsoever. He's gonna blow Chewbacca's face off. Aim it a little bit. Yeah. Aim it a little bit to the right. Take out Woody Harrelson. Knights of the Nine, thank you so much for your donation. Demon-sized Synthwave, thank you for £5. So the soy was strong with this one? Yes. I linked you to Smack Talk's hilarious Soylo review on Twitter. You gotta watch it. Okay. let's see. Joyhood82, thanks for $5. I enjoyed the video. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Billy Bob, thanks for $2. One lives, one dies. Hitler or Ryan Johnson? Well, Hitler's already dead, so Ryan Johnson might as well go. Ryan Poplensky, thanks for Canadian 275. Your thoughts on Anthony Ingruber's hand would have been infinitely better, Ryan. Thank you for the donation. Infinitely better. Golden Oil, thanks for $1.99. I love dongs. Yeah, you're not alone in the cast of Soylo, a Soy War story. James Murray, thanks for $2. No fuckable women in Star Wars since Leia and Return of the Jedi. You're so right, and she looked so good in that movie. I watched it again the other day. When she takes that helmet off and goes, "Someone who loves you." Whoa! I mean, she's smoking hot, and then of course she gets in the metal bikini, and you see that she's been working out. Amazing woman, beautiful woman. What did she do that to herself for? Michael Fox, thanks for $5. Thanks for jumping on that grenade for us, Uncle Ethan. More scissor punching. He should have been in the movie more. It would have been better if Scissor Punch had been in there. Whomstidov, thanks for 240. Rest in peace at 24 FPS. Total biscuit. Yeah. Jonathan, thanks for $2. Thanks for taking one for the team. DJ Ray, thanks for 4.99. Uncle Ethan, thanks for enduring this dumpster fire for us. Also, watch the Voxus production YouTube channel. Also, rip apart this movie. Everyone's gonna rip it apart. Like the secret's out. This is a piece of garbage. Rin Wesley, thanks for $2. Thanks for the review. Rip Total Biscuit. Uh-oh, what happened to Total Biscuit? Evil Subhuman White Heterosexual. Thanks for $5. Agenda is clear. Take away all the male achievement. That's right. They're not really heroes. Women did it all. A dead feminist droid gets credit for Kessel Run, not Han. That is, he couldn't have done it without her. That is true. Aaron Chauncey, thanks for $2. Appreciate the donation. Mark Shawsey, thank you for $5. Phil Mandarino Cox at Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Do you think the Phil and Chris version would have been good at all? No, no, I don't. Ron Howard saved it. I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that. It's now a competent movie. Yeah, I think honestly there was nowhere to go from here. This movie was so bad. I think Ron Howard probably did the best he could. Tyrant, thanks for $2. Holdo named Scissor Punch after his favorite hobby. Uh, Jay Koenig, thank you for $1.99. Kenobi movie. They'll just take a dump on him too. Yeah, but they do need to do it. I mean, an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie makes sense. So does a Boba Fett movie. And maybe it'll be good. Probably won't be. But we'll watch for that. That's what we do here. Kevin, thanks for $4.99. Can we please have a moment of silence in memory of Phil Lord and Chris Miller? Yeah, I mean, in a ditch somewhere. I hope they find their bodies. I hope they do. And bring their remains home to their loved ones. It's what they deserve. Brappy Hour, thank you for $1.99. There's a couple of them for $4 each at Walmart. Ticos. Yeah, get them. $4 isn't a bad price. Sergeant Lowe, thanks for $2.99. Thank you for your service. Now, thank you for yours. Kleindropper, thank you for $2. Does Darth Maul have robotic nethers? Yes, but it's like the Princess Leia kind of hologram, so it's a little fuzzy. It zooms in on his face, so you get a good look at his face, but when you see his full body, it's a little bit fuzzy. Cody P, thanks for $5. Sorry, just got here. Can we latecomers get a quick recap? What do you rate the movie? Cody, it's a 2 out of 10. It's a piece of garbage. Fried Dirt, thanks for $5. Cecil B. DeMille. That's pretty witty. Phil Devereaux, thanks for $6. Take some beer money if you actually watch this sober. You are a stronger man than I. Michael Hand, thanks you for $1.99. What's KK's infatuation with British women? I don't know, but I don't think I've seen a British feminist before. I mostly just endure our kind in comics, and they're terrible enough. But yeah, this British, I mean, she is rude and strident and nasty, and stupid. Just you'll see, you'll see. Illegal Pete's Atlas, thank you for $2. Was SC Reviews high when he saw the movie? Did he like it? I mean, I don't know how you like it. Ian Aldrich, thanks for $5. What would a New Jersey state trooper do if with Soylo if he got pulled over? I don't know. I hope beat him. Kyle P, thank you for $5. Capture the best bang for your buck in entertainment these days. Wow, thanks. Movie sounds like garbage. Thanks for everything, bud. You're welcome. Thank you. Cloud KMR777, thanks for $5. Please help me EVS. My good friends are becoming SJWs and love The Last Jedi. What do I do? Get rid of them. They're not friends anymore. They're not friends. They've become. It's like, hey, my friends have become Invasion of the Body Snatchers. What do I do? I still like them. They're not human beings anymore. Abandon them. I'm just kidding. But yeah, kind of not kidding. The Buzz General, thanks for $2. Does Alden present any swagger? Best character is everybody's gonna say Chewbacca. That's too easy. I'll say Woody Harrelson is the best character. He is the most masculine, uh, the most fun to watch on the screen, the most competent actor in the movie, and what can I tell you? It's slim pickings. I also really liked. I did like the gangster, whose name I've now forgotten. It's all gonna leave my head soon. Voss, whatever his name is. He's a good gangster. Chris Tenbrook, thank you for $5. Thank you for sacrificing your time and suffering through this garbage movie for us, Uncle Ethan. It's what I do. You're welcome. Thank you. iGame Classic, thanks for $4.99. That scene of the SJW droid discussing its relationship with Lando was disturbing. Oh, you saw it? Ooh. The whole thing was disturbing. So it's a droid. Like, stop it. Droids don't have rights. It's a droid. Chase No, thank you for $5. You knew this movie was going to be a failure when they tried to put the entire backstory in it. Kessel Run meeting Chewbacca and getting the Falcon. No, it could have been good though with all that stuff. It could have been good. It just wasn't good. They messed it up. Blue Seal PF, thanks for $2. Alden passable as Han Solo? No, he's passable as someone other than Han Solo. If this movie were called, Jake Fireface or something like that, then it would have been fine. But he's Han Solo and he's not Han Solo at all. He can't do it. James Jameson, thank you for £2. Thoughts on John Campea on Solo? I don't. I'm from what I know about John Campea, just from his little temper tantrum essay that was poorly written and weird and feminine. I don't like John Campea. But that's just from my. I don't know him. I'm not a fan. I've never watched him before. He just came up on my radar because one of you guys sent one of his essays my way and said, do something about this. He was calling people names. He was calling people crybabies and nutsuckers because they didn't like The Last Jedi. Um, yeah, I don't have too high of an opinion of him. Thank you for 99 cents. Whoever sent that message retracted. It was probably F you, Uncle Ethan. Ebob Jr., thank you for $2. I'm Ebob Jr. I love Dong. Great. That's awesome. You'll like this movie. Tom Millie, thank you for $5. Uncle Ethan, we going to do a saga together? Yeah, sure. Josh Radabao, thank you for $1.99. I'm late. Just how bad was it? I rated it a 2 out of 10, Josh. 1 out of 5. It was bad. MZA Mike, thank you for $1.99. I heard that Maul kind of looked like Ron Perlman, sort of. Yeah, I don't know who he was. He didn't. He might have been the same actor, but maybe not. Like, because it's been 20 years, so his face could have been older, but he did definitely look different. Um, but it was clearly him. It was clearly, it was Darth Maul. And he spoke a lot. He said a lot of things, which was really strange. Steve Frankhauser, thank you for $2. Is Star Wars officially dead? No. No, 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 no. I disagree about Star Wars being dead. World Class Bullshitters and I diverge on that one point. I might say it out of frustration. No, I don't feel like Star Wars is officially dead. Uh, it's possible. There's still a glimmer of hope that the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie will be good. And that would change a lot. That would change a lot. They have another opportunity. After they've disgraced all of the characters, Boba Fett, it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who else can they do? Lando. Oh god, so depressing. I don't know. It's got some legs still. We'll keep going. Egg Chen 6 Demonbag, thanks for $2. Boba Fett will come out as a clone sexual. Probably, yeah. Dan Lozano, thank you for Mexican $100. Uncle Ethan, wow, thank you for that. 64% of humanity thanks you for taking the bullet for the rest of us. Big fan. Unrelated request. Can you play the Greatest American Hero song next time you go on a cover bench? Oh, on the piano. Yeah, I can play it. I can play that song. When I get on the keyboard, I always forget every song that I know when I'm live. I'm like, I can just noodle because I can't think of the songs that I know. But if you say something that I know, instantly play it. I'll play that one for you next time. Yanni Huel, thank you for Mexican $20. Total Biscuit saw Solo and it literally killed him. Oh, is Total Biscuit another YouTuber? I don't know him. I don't know who that is. Who was Total Biscuit? Heliopire, did he really die? Is this someone who really died, or is that a joke? Heliopire, thank you for New Zealand $10. Thank you. Hey, Uncle Ethan, I found your channel recently and I love it. Catch me up on what you would give out of 10. I heard it's a 6 out of 10. Helio, I disagree strongly. I give it a 2 out of 10. I thought it was a terrible movie. A terrible movie with about 10 minutes in the middle that can be excised and are good. The rest of it is pure garbage. Sigrid Halderson, thank you for $5 Australian, I think. How bad was Aaron Reich? Uh, if this were a Disney Channel teeny bopper movie or TV show, he would have been just fine. This was High School Musical performing a Star Wars skit. That's what it was. Just picture it that way. He wasn't good. He wasn't Han Solo. That's what he needed to be. Was he? The whole premise of the movie hinges on the success of the movie hinges on Alden Ehrenreich successfully being Han Solo. Obviously, he was not successfully Han Solo, so the movie was bad, and his performance was bad. J-Man FX, thank you for almost $20. It does not matter if the movies are good until Kathleen Kennedy is replaced and Lucasfilm apologizes to their customers for making hateful and false comments about us for having valid criticism of The Last Jedi. That is true. I could stand to be reminded of that. I mean, there is a long-standing grudge now between the fans and Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson's care until they make it right with the fans. It's going to be hard to admit that any of these movies that they're planning are good, even if they are good. They are mistreating their audience big time. Dragoon 37 or 347, thanks for $2. Total Biscuit passed away. His wife said it hours ago. Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know who he is. I rest in peace. That's terrible. Cecil is Dick in Comics. Thank you for $2. Any Wookiee love with Mala? Mala's not in it, Cecil. That was the biggest disappointment for me. I really wanted to see Mala. I wanted to see Mala and possibly Lumparoo. I said it 3 times. They psyched us out. That scene where Chewbacca was hugging a Wookiee, that was just another Wookiee that he freed. Just another male Wookiee, in fact. Not Mala at all. Crushingly disappointing. The Outpatient, thank you for Canadian $5. Was Dong Lover wearing his same shirt that Cecil dresses as Chihuahua in? Could be. I mean, it wasn't cool. Robert G, $1.99, thank you. Was Lumpy in this mess? No, he wasn't. He wasn't in this movie. And you know what? I would have come back. If Lumpy and Mala were in this movie, I would have given it a 3 out of 10. Because I would have really enjoyed seeing that reference. No, there are no references. There are no references in this movie. There's nothing good about this movie that will make you go, oh yeah, it's Star Wars. It's never Star Wars. It never feels like Star Wars. Ever. Does Lando bang any droids? Asked Billy for $2. Yeah, probably. Off screen. Yeah, Sean Carson, thanks for $2. Soilo castrated me. I didn't see it. Don't see it. Dan, wow, thank you for almost $50. Thank you so much for that. That's great. Thank you. No amount of diapers can hold what KK is producing. Yeah, isn't that sad? Thank you again. Big donation. Thank you so much. Captain K-Man, thank you for $5. So my friend just got back and said, and I quote, the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back, and he was not joking. I need better friends. Nah, just friends with better taste in movies. I mean, this movie was just slightly better than The Last Jedi. It was worse than The Force Awakens. It was much worse than Rogue One. Yeah. Docs, and that's a fair assessment, honestly. That is reasonable and fair. Doxum, thank you for £2. I give my soy milk money to you. Thank you. Well, I'm not going to spend it on soy milk, but I appreciate you. Cypher9, thank you for $5. How crowded was the theater? Thank you for doing this, Uncle Ethan. 80% full. Pretty full. People wanted to. Actually, it was the second showing I found out. There was a 6 o'clock showing where there were giveaways. You got dice and a poster, and I was pissed that I didn't know about it and I missed it. I would have loved dice. Would have loved it. Mr. Pete Channel, thank you for $2. About 20 people in my theater. The soy cod is real. Yeah, in my neighborhood, they came out for the movie. I mean, these poor people. The word's not out yet. I mean, there are some phony good reviews out there. People don't know. So I don't blame my neighbors in my community for coming out and seeing this movie with any enthusiasm. I don't blame them at all. They were tricked. Thanks, Tyrant, for $2. Spoiler alert: Han's character dies in this movie. Uh, Kinda, yeah. Hey Mitch, how you doing? Thanks for 4.99. Ethan, you can destroy Ruin Johnson. He has foreseen this. It is your destiny. Join me and together we can rule the galaxy as Frog and Rooster. We will, my friend. We will. Yeah. Here's the thing. What if Ryan Johnson said if they're gonna make a Rooster movie, a Red Rooster movie, and they're like, yeah, but Ryan Johnson's gonna direct it. We're gonna give you $1 million to buy your character, but yeah, Ryan Johnson's gonna direct it. That is tough. Would I sell Cyberfrog for $1 million, but Ryan Johnson's gonna direct the movie? I'd have to pray about that. I'd have to go. I'd have to go seek help from a priest over that quandary. Xenobit, thank you for $5. Coming in 2019, starring Ethan Van Sciver and Ben Stiller. Something about Tico. There's just something about that woman. I like her. Dallas Jedi, thank you for $5. Just copyrighted Jack Fireface. Uncle Ethan, don't worry. I'll let you in on the deal. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, you snooze, you lose, I guess. There is Fox, thanks for $10. Total Biscuit was a video game reviewer who helped legitimize Gamergate. He got some kind of inoperable skin cancer, and it moved to his liver, dragged on for a time. He passed on a couple hours ago. That's awful. Rest in peace. Jethro Fox, thank you for a $1.99 donation. Zach Funk, thank you for $2. Biscuit was an SJW. The cancer is always fatal. It's not nice, I guess. Phil Devereaux, thank you for $5. Thoughts: what is worse, episode 1 and 2 or Solo? Solo is. Moreover, is Disney in general worse than the prequels? Um, yeah, but with the exception of Rogue One, which I still maintain. I really liked Rogue One. I mean, you guys can be critical of me about it. I liked it. My battery is done, so I'm going to unhook my headset and plug into the battery so we can keep going. But now I'm going to talk without a headset on, so I hope this still sounds okay. Um, yeah, Nikos R, thank you for $1.99. The only reason I'm seeing it is my birthday gift card. Go see it if you want to. This is the thing. I'm not saying there's no peer pressure here. I'm not saying don't see it if you want to see it. I'm not saying there's a definite boycott, like some kind of strike, and you can't cross the picket line. If you want to see the movie, go see the movie. I mean, you should see the movie if that's what you want to do. I'm just saying if you don't know if you should see the movie and you want to know if it's good, if you trust my opinion at all, I'm telling you it's terrible. So let that guide you if that be the case. Billy, thank you for $5. Does Lando bang any droids? My internet cut out. Sorry if I missed your answer to this. He probably does. He does it off screen. He's clearly in love with L337. They don't even pull any punches about this. He is involved in a loving relationship with that droid. Delmar, thank you for $5. Hey EVS, what was the audience reaction during the movie? Also, Kathleen is a fucking okay. Audience reaction was quiet. I think. Let's see. They applauded at the end. A few people applauded at the end because when the last scene that you see is Chewbacca and Han Solo from behind as the stars come out. You go light speed, and that is a very familiar and exciting scene. And so people saw that, and a few people applauded. I restrained myself from applauding. I went, "Oh my god, no Jabba the Hutt, fuck you." Hamster Steak, thank you for $2. Uncle Ethan, can you came a video of you playing Candle in the Wind on your keyboard with a framed picture of Third Ehrenreich's photo just behind the keyboard with some candles so I can mourn quietly. You want me to play Candle in the Wind by Elton John for Alden Ehrenreich? Okay. Yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll play the piano. Dash 42, thanks for $5. Definitely recommend Clone Wars to restore faith in the non-KKS Star Wars. Thanks for enduring the unendurable for us. I'm going to see Clone Wars. I will watch it. I promise. I have Chaos. Thank you for $10. I've been subbed and watching you, Geeks and Gamers, and World Class Bullshitters. How much do you think this will affect turnout for episode 9?
It shouldn't. It probably won't affect turnout for episode 9. I'm switching to live chat now. It probably won't affect turnout for episode 9. People will be forgiving. People will go see a new Star Wars movie, and they always will. I mean, they always will. So it'll be just fine. Oh my God. That was a lot of super chats, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Christian Sandoval just gave me $500. Uh, uh, okay, thank you very much, Christian. Uncle Ethan, can you tell my wife Elizabeth that I love her? Thank you. God bless you and your family. Elizabeth, Christian loves you very, very much, enough to pay me $500 to tell you so. Yeah, God bless you both. It sounds like wow, that's really terrific. Um, I'm stunned. Thank you very much. Russell Brown, thank you for 4.99. Damn it, I got my Soilos shirt on, and on my way to see this garbage. I pre-bought my ticket, or I would skip this movie. Good to know. My night is ruined. Maybe you'll like it. I don't rule the world. Maybe you will enjoy the movie. You know, yeah. Everyone's shocked at that. Let me just say that again to a $500 super chat. Christian, Elizabeth, Christian loves you very, very much. You were the light of his life. Before you came into his life, Elizabeth, his world was narrow. He lived in a dark cave, psychically. When you came into his life, you brought him joy and love and laughter. And thanks to you, life is good. Thanks to you, he wakes up singing every morning. So thank you, Elizabeth. Christian, thanks you. And thank you for making a fan of Comic Artist Pro Secrets so very, very happy. All right, was that a little better? I don't know. I'm so tired. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Christian. That's an amazing donation to the channel. Yeah, it's a lot of Tico money. It's going to go to diapers, guys. It's going to go to diapers. Absolutely. Whew. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. All right, Fabio tonight. I'm gonna. I just feel like falling in bed and never thinking of this movie again. But I'm going to. I mean, we're going to spend. Monkey Jesus, thank you for $1 donation. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Um, we're gonna follow this movie. I want to see how it does now. The channel is going to follow the progress of this movie, and whether or not it does. We want to know how much money it makes this weekend. That's the exciting thing. Oh my God! Like how bad is it gonna flop at the box office? Like, they wanted 170 million. Now they're just hoping for 120 million, and 120 million might be low. Like they're just trying to beat whatever expectation they say they're expecting. I want to know. I would love to see them get less than 120 million for this thing. That'll show them. Josh, the amazing animator, thank you for Canadian $5. Just got back from the theater. A Quiet Place was great. A lot of people are seeing other movies. Yeah, other movies. Oh my goodness. EVS, can you write a better script than the Solo movie? No, but I can write a better plot outline. I'm not a good script writer, but yeah, I could arrange this movie to go in a better direction. Yeah. EVS, now that you rated it 2 out of 10 Ticos, my only question to you is how will you fall asleep tonight after watching this? I will fall asleep pretty easily because this was a really boring movie and I wanted to sleep. There were a couple of times where I was like, and I had to shake myself awake because, yeah, it got really, really, really boring. It looks like Soilo made $120,000 in China. Oh my God, the Chinese hate Star Wars, and they keep expecting, yeah, they keep expecting Star Wars to do well over there. It never will. That's why they put Rose Tico in Last Jedi. They thought, well, maybe if we added some representation of Asian people, then the Asian market will respond. The Asian market spit that movie out. It's shit, and Rose Tico was terrible in that movie. It wasn't until Comic Artist Pro Secrets saw the goodness in Rose Tico and rescued that character that she, yeah, I mean, before then she was just despised. Christian Harris says, "We love you." Well, thank you. I love you guys too, very, very much, with all my heart. Uh, Rust Bucket J says, Comic Arts Pro Secrets. My prediction is that L337's robot brain gets transferred into Lobots in Solo 2, and that's why Lando and him have the hots for each other in The Empire Strikes Back. Thoughts? Oh my God. That makes perfect, perfect, perfect sense. That is absolutely correct. Yeah. Less than 90 million, says Data Racer. Watch. Well, that would be funny. That would definitely be funny. Josh McAdams thanks for $10. Ebob does in fact love Dong. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes now is at a 69. It's going to continue to go down. It's going to continue to go down. The movie's already out. I mean, people, you can't hide it from the public anymore. You know, you do have to just admit that it is. Yeah, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. Ratings are going down. Yeah. Yeah, look, Elric Hyuga is saying, LOL, Ethan made more in this chat than the showing of Solo he went to. I think so. I probably made more than the theater made. Terrible. Probably true. I hope it's true. I hope it's true. All right. I'm probably gonna go to bed. Phil Devereaux, thank you for $5. Am I missing out on any Star Wars comics outside of the Star Wars Empire ones that I read back in the day? Christian making it rain, holler. I don't know. I haven't read any Star Wars comics, except for the old ones from the 1970s, like the old Marvel Comics series that had a green rabbit in it. Yeah, I mean that is those were interesting. I saved Rose Tico. I wonder if she's grateful. You know, I wonder if Rose Tico knows who I am and appreciates all that I've done to rescue that character. Duremicom blog, thank you for $2. My name is Brian. Can Ivan Ortega save this movie? No, there's not a lot. No, Ivan can't save this movie because there aren't any good performances. Like Ivan can save a movie where an idiot director makes Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher do stupid things because they can both act. He can't save this movie. It's not an editing issue. It's a casting, script, acting. It's all bad. It's just amateur hour. It's really bad. I'm telling you. I'd rather watch Phantom Menace than Solo first last. I really would. Anderson Paladin, thank you for a Canadian $2. Was C3PO in the movie and did the Fembot bully him? He wasn't in the movie. Were he in the movie, the Fembot would bully him. Well, no, the Fembot would say, "Why aren't you free? Why aren't you liberated?" C3PO would be like, "Pardon me?" Terrible. All right, so World Class is streaming now. Tyrant, thank you for $5. Christian, if it doesn't work out with Elizabeth, I'd go full Pando for that. Home dog, LOL. Just kidding. Ew. Thank you for your donation. Zach Funk, thank you for $2. Total Biscuit wished cancer and death on others. Really? I don't know anything about him, so I'm gonna reserve comment. Gojirify, thank you for $2. Tell Christian's wife I love her. I will not do that. Okay, so has World Class been streaming this whole time? Oh, okay, then I'm gonna keep streaming then. Gojirify, thank you for $2. Tell Christian's wife that I love her. He says again. I won't do that. I won't do that. But we all do love each other. I mean, that's the thing. You know, of course we do. We are a little community. Remember, do not rate half star. Does not count. Right. Go down there and rate it a full thing. I have 2,833 people watching me right now. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Gojirify is doubling down on his love. Join World Class. I could do it. I mean, we could go over there. We could do a high council. Josh McAdams, thanks for $2. Goblins dong together. Dude, I don't even know what to say about this movie. It is so strange. It really feels pieced together from. It really feels like kids made it. Except for the Kessel Run scene, it feels like kids made it, and you can tell that like Ron Howard really focused on that Kessel Run scene. That was the key to this. You know, it's like the rest of it. Yeah, Kessel Run was bullshit. It was a total rush job. No, No, we'll do the High Council later. These are my initial thoughts. I'll do a more thoughtful review tomorrow and I'll post it. I don't want to, we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Everyone, go over and go listen to World Class if he is streaming now. Are you guys booing at me? What are you booing at? You- oh my God. Well, it was a passionate review. It was a passionate. Why am I getting booed at? Who's booing at me? Oh, Boo Earns. All right. Are you saying Boo Earns or are you saying Boo? Brundle Dan, thank you for $5. Ebob will tell you he dated a Sears model, but don't be fooled. We're pretty sure she had a dong too. Goblins will rise again. Okay. I love you guys too. Thank you so much for being here tonight. This was fun. I mean, it felt like the culmination of. No, I said that I walked out on Twitter. I meant I walked out when the movie was over. I mean, I wouldn't. I would never walk out of this movie, no matter how bad it was, because I needed to be able to talk about it tonight. So I stayed through the whole movie. When I said walked out of the movie, I meant I walked out when it was over. I just left the movie. So don't worry. Tyrant, thanks for $2. They just don't want to let you go. Oh, uh, appreciate you guys. Soilo, a dork story. I could just read your comments and laugh. Disney sucks. Everyone is streaming. Everyone is streaming. I didn't stay for after credits. I don't know if there was an after credit scene. I had to get out. I mean, there were limits to my patience. You know, it was too much. And when it was over, I was like, oh my God, get me out of here. Soundtrack was great. John Williams. What are we gonna do when John Williams goes? He is a treasure. He's an absolute treasure. Yeah. Let's see. By Ethan, you earned there. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Hi, Elsie Doomhammer. Nice to see you. Pete Max, Sweet Dreams A, thank you. Mighty Egbert, thank you for Canadian $5. Is the rumor true that the Ugnaughts were really Lando's Bespin harem? I knew there was something to this sexy pigman. Now listen, yeah, it could be. It could be. That actually is possible now. Yeah. Oh, guys, please smash that like button on the way out. Would you please? That would be really helpful. How many dislikes are there? Probably 100. Yeah. No lightsabers. Well, the mafia guy, the mob guy, Dryden Voss, he had this kind of double-edged lights like dagger with lightsaber edges. That was pretty neat. It was a neat weapon. What was the worst thing about it? L337 was the worst thing about it. The best thing about it was L337 dying. That was the best. There was no resemblance to Harrison Ford at any point. At any point, there were a couple of things. There were a couple of moments in the script that I could picture Harrison Ford doing the line. Like because I mean the Kasdans wrote it, so they know how to write Han Solo, or at least the dad does. So right after right after Lando leaves Han to go to the Millennium Falcon to abandon him with Emphas Nest, he says, "And I don't want to see you ever again." And he turns to walk away. He's walking away, and Han just stands there for about 3 beats, and then goes, "Ever?" And that was totally like Han Solo as Harrison Ford, but he couldn't read it right. Like it just didn't feel like it. But I love the beats. Like I don't want to see you ever again, and Han Solo just being like, "Ever?" I mean, that was great. Marcus Geiger, thanks for $2. Now imagine if Han and Lando clean their rooms. Well, I mean, they don't. I don't know if they have Jordan Peterson in their lives. They need Jordan Peterson. We all do. We all need Jordan Peterson. Um. Oh wow, 1.9 thousand likes and 19 dislikes. That's a good ratio. That's definitely a good ratio. Yeah, I'm not a fan of John Kasdan after his nonsense. I'm not a fan. This is the thing. Imagine his great father, and he's got to put up with this. Hey, I'm going to take your character that you created, and I'm going to make him into some weirdo pervert. And by the way, the other thing about it is this. Uh, his whole thing about, and he uses the word pansexual, like if you are a pansexual in real life, do you realize John Kasdan is basically saying that you're someone who will fuck anything? That's not what a pansexual means. A pansexual doesn't mean they'll bang other species. It means that if you buy into this idea that there are 67 different genders, a pansexual doesn't mind whatever you are. They're if you're an elf, if you're a Zira or whatever, they don't care. They'll be into you. It's possible for them to be attracted to you. That's what a pansexual is. So John Kasdan's statement that Lando Calrissian, who tries to bang robots and aliens, is a pansexual is actually kind of homophobic. Uh, yeah. I don't know how many there are. There's 67. There might be 167. Who knows? Yeah, I don't really keep up on it like I should. Did Chewie pee all over the Millennial Falcon? Yes, he did. It's the Millennial Flamingo, and he did. He did pee all over it. There was another funny thing. They beat the hell out of the Millennium Falcon with the Kessel Run. When Han lands it, finally after that, I mean, it looks like a car that's been just beaten down. It is pretty funny. I like that part. Yeah. Chewie was the shining spot in this movie. Chewie was always good. Chewie was always good, you know. No 3PO. Not at all. All right, all right, all right. Now I'm going to go. Thank you guys. Love you. I will see you tomorrow. There'll be a new video up tomorrow morning, but I got to go to sleep. That movie sucked. It sucked. It sucked. If you're wondering if you should see it because it might be good, it sucks. Don't go see it. If you want to see it to just have something to bitch about, go ahead and see it. All right? Love you guys. Good night.